Have you ever wondered exactly how much water you should drink and what's required for you to stay hydrated? So what we're going to talk about today is exactly that. So first off, what's the definition of hydration? Well, it's refilling the water that your body lost. So think of a leaky bucket where there's water just coming out of the bucket. Problems are going to happen if you get dehydrated, so you have to keep filling up the bucket, but each day your body is losing water, so you have to refill it, among other factors that cause that. So, what's dehydration? Inadequate supply of water. So, ways you can tell are, the way that your urine smells, the color of it, so you want it to be on the lighter yellow. If it gets dark yellow, where it's not even yellow, it's more like gold, you're very dehydrated at that point, seriously dehydrated. One question someone asked me is, can you overhydrate? A normal adult with a normal kidney function would have to drink more than 6 gallons of water a day on a regular basis to dehydrate. So it's very, hard to do that. It can happen though, and more than what's more likely to happen is that you're going to run out of electrolytes. But if you're eating a normal diet, potentially you can add an electrolyte packets here and there. Even if you are drinking that much, you still would be completely fine. But overhydration can happen, kind of also called water toxicity, if you drink too much water too fast. So this can happen. It's pretty rare. Usually happens in people whose kidneys aren't working properly or extreme situations. So the water, excessive water dilutes the blood sodium levels, which can cause symptoms like confusion, nausea, seizures, and muscle spasms. So it can also happen in extreme situations like marathon running, where you're exercising for a long period of time and you're drinking so much water to replenish the water you're losing, and then you're constantly losing electrolytes because you're just drinking water so quickly and you're losing it so fast, and you can get dehydrated a lot faster than you can rehydrate. So this can happen in those cases, but it's pretty rare. Okay, so why do you need water? Well, water is, it's what you need for your body to perform at an optimal level. Okay, so our body is 60% water, our brain is 90% water, our muscles are 75% water, and our blood is 83% water. So those are pretty vital areas, right, of our health that's due just to water. So when it comes to anti-aging, I don't think people realize this, but really water is what hydrates the skin and prevents wrinkles. So people are always putting on cream and stuff, but yet they're dehydrated all the time, and they're drinking caffeine, which dehydrates them more. Doesn't make any sense. Hydrate first. That's the most important thing you can do for a lot of reasons. So it also helps convert food into energy, helps you with muscle growth, because it helps deliver nutrients and oxygen to all the cells in the entire body. Okay, and it also boosts brain cognition, mood, and productivity. So if you're wanting to be smarter, making sure that you're hydrated is one of the most important things that you can do. Okay. It also, if your goal is fat loss, it creates a thermogenic effect by burning more calories. So the more water you drink, the more calories you actually burn just drinking water. It's even a natural appetite suppressant, because a lot of times when we're hungry, we're actually just dehydrated, and that's one of the symptoms of being dehydrated is you have a sensation that's not filled, and we might interpret it as hunger, but it's really just dehydration. So it's a natural appetite suppressant, and it really protects and lubricates joints and our organs too, and it improves sleep. So, and what's crazy is that even a 2% reduction in body mass of water can reduce our physical performance by 20% and up to 40% in hot temperatures. Okay, so that's how critical this is, and that's why when I give you the plan later on, I'll kind of show you how to sandwich the hydration around your workouts, because it's going to help you get better workouts with the higher performance, because and prevent injury, because your muscles will be hydrated properly. So it helps you with weight loss, anti-aging, building muscle, performance, pretty much anything you can even think of or want your body to do. Muscle helps with that. All right. So how much water should you drink? I'm going to go over it in detail, but your body loses 64 to 96 ounces per day just normally, just your normal body functions, just you waking up, sleeping, in a 24-hour period. That's how much your body's about to lose, just normally, without even going outside, without really sweating, just kind of sitting in an office chair. You're losing about half a gallon per day at least. Okay, so one would think that you probably would need to drink about that to refill it, right? So, but you can also go off of, if you're thirsty, it means you need to drink water. If your urine color, the smell, the more it smells and the darker the color means you're more dehydrated. So you want to get more clear. You don't want it to be perfectly clear, because that means you're drinking too much water, but you just want it to be very, very light yellow. Also, if you're having headaches or muscle cramps, you're dehydrated, don't have enough electrolytes. So those are signs of how much water you should drink. And then roughly, that's how much you're going to lose, just because we know how much we already know how much water you lose each day just from normal functions. And then that's what we'll go over in a second, is kind of calculating your water intake roughly. Now, I can't calculate every single factor that's going to come into play here, and that's why it's okay to kind of go back to the generally speaking 1, 2, and 3 to determine how your body feels, if you need to adjust it a little bit. But this is going to give you a baseline of where you should start. So other factors that increase dehydration are exercise, which is why it's so important to increase your water intake on top of what you should drink anyways for exercise. Environments, like if it's hot or humid. If you're sick, you need extra water, okay? Fever, vomiting, diarrhea, especially diarrhea, because because of the sickness, the symptom is you're actually excreting water faster than you normally would because you're sick, okay? So being sick by itself, you need more water. And then because you're excreting water faster, you wouldn't, like, you're not exercising or anything, but you're still excreting water, so you got to rehydrate because of that. So pregnancy and breastfeeding also, your body's working harder, so you got to drink extra water. So we'll go into the details. I like to calculate everything off of lean body weight, and the reason is because there's a big variable in people's weight when you're calculating out how much water they drink. So if someone's 100 pounds overweight, it's not the same kind of water requirement as if let's say someone's 200 pounds and they're 100 pounds overweight, right? And then you have someone who's 200 pounds and at 4% body fat, which means that they're basically just 200 pounds of muscle, right? So you have someone who actually weighs 100 pounds if you took off the 100 pounds, and you have someone else who weighs 200 pounds of muscle, but they both weigh 200 pounds. The food and water intake are going to be much different, okay? So what I do is, let's just strip away the fat, and what's left is what we're going to calculate it off of, and that's how I do my nutrition as well, because it's a more, not standardized, but it's a more accurate number that will fluctuate as you actually increase your muscle mass, okay? Because let's say if you're 200 pounds, but you lost 50 pounds of fat and built 50 pounds of muscle, and if you're going off of calculations that only go off of weight, well, it's going to be wrong because you have more muscle now, so you need to drink more water and more eat more calories and carbs and protein, right? So lean body mass. So for example, if you weigh 180 pounds at 6% body fat, so you're pretty lean already. So your lean body mass is 169, okay? If your body fat is like 50% and you're at 180 pounds, that means your lean body mass is like 90 pounds, okay? So that's how you calculate your lean body mass. So we're always going to go off of lean body mass because it just accounts for the different variables in people's composition, okay? So that's just the first step, okay? So now we're actually just going to calculate your water intake. So we're going to go lean body mass, 180 times 0.8. Okay, so that's the number we're going to use in ounces per day of water, all right? So 0.8 times your lean body mass. So it's going to be 170 times 0.8 would be 136 ounces, right? Pretty cool. So that's how much water you need in a day. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and subtract. We're assuming that you're eating, foods that contain water. We're going to subtract about 20% from that. So that's going to, so we do 136 times 0.8. So we take it to like 108, right? 109 of how much water you would need to drink, right? In addition to the water you're getting from your food. Now, if you want to just, pretend that you're not getting, let's say you're just eating crap and you're not getting any water from your food. It's just all processed food, artificial, no fruits, no vegetables, nothing with water in it. Then I would just go off of the top number, right? Just the 136. But this is just kind of gives you other things to think about. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in some of those factors that I mentioned before in terms of things that would cause you to need to drink more water. And I'm not going to put every single factor in here for you, but if you exercise, you need to drink about 8 to 10 ounces of water every 15 minutes or so. Okay, so if you work out for 60 minutes, that's an extra 32 ounces you'd need to drink. So adding that to your original number, after we subtracted the 20%, that'd be 140 ounces total, right? Plus the water you're getting in your food, but you're going to drink about 140 ounces. So it's a little bit more than a gallon for this body weight, right? So a gallon's 128. This is slightly more, but it's because they had to exercise. So if you exercise, you need to increase it, right? So that's how you kind of calculate that. So I'm going to, kind of break it down like how you should plan out your day without doing the math really complicated. Basically, guys should drink at least a gallon plus, right? A gallon or more is how much guys should drink. Women should drink half a gallon or more, right? Or you could go, women should drink less than a gallon, right? Guys should drink more than a gallon. Women should drink less than a gallon. That's where you should start, right? You don't need to make it too complicated. Start with that and then see how you feel. If you're getting thirsty, then drink more water, right? If you're aiming for a gallon and you're still thirsty and you add another 8 ounces and you're like feeling great, then you found the magic number without even having to do math, right? So half a gallon plus for women, a gallon plus for men, okay? But the biggest thing is it does go off of your body weight. So obviously there's big women, small women, big men, small men, which is why weight is really the true way to calculate out what your requirements are and your muscle mass, okay? Weight, which is your lean body mass, okay? So now, how do you plan your day, right? What's the optimal hydration, plan? So I'm going to talk to you about hyperhydration. Now, this is important because when you're sleeping, your body you haven't drank any water for 8 hours while you're sleeping, right? Assuming that you're not like waking up in the middle of the night. So assuming that you got 8 hours of solid sleep without waking up, then you're actually dehydrated. And that's why in the morning, your urine is always extra, yellow. So you got to rehydrate your body immediately. Get those, the organs, hydrated again. Get your body awake with water, okay? This will gets your metabolism jump started. It's so beneficial for you, okay? So before you eat, I recommend that you hyperhydrate. Now, what I mean by hyperhydrate is drink a majority of your water right away. Okay, so it can be more. I put 24 ounces, right? Assuming you're gonna, let's say on a normal day you're drinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20 ounce, serving sizes of water. You would drink, 24 to 30 ounces of your to hyperhydrate in the morning. So just drink, about 1.5 to 2 serving sizes larger in the morning to jumpstart your hydration in case your morning's busy and you skip a hydration time. I'd recommend you hyperhydrate. Okay, so this is actually a low number. I'd recommend you go much, much higher than that for the hyperhydration. And then basically what you're going to do is, if you look at the time slots over here, this is kind of like just on a normal day, like not counting your workouts. You're going to hyperhydrate. So you're going to have 24 to 50 ounces right off the bat, right? Depending on what your total number is for the day, right? If you're working out, then you need much more, but let's say you're not working out. So you hyperhydrate, and then throughout the day, every 2 to 3 hours, you're drinking about 20 ounces, okay? Now I recommend you, we're going to go over here to this plan, and what I recommend is you do is try to get more of your water earlier on so that it doesn't interrupt your sleep at night. Because if you can really stop drinking water after around 6 or 7 or whatever, depending on what time you go to bed, right? As early as possible before you go to bed, it'll allow you to go to the bathroom one more time, and then it won't interrupt your sleep, because that's one factor that does interrupt your sleep is if you drink water right before you go to bed. And sleep's important also. So if we can hydrate earlier on, the better. Okay, so hyperhydrate right when you wake up. Okay, so 24 to 50 ounces. And then let's say your breakfast, which is like 9 a.m. for you, 6 ounces. Around snack 1, 16 ounces, lunch 16 ounces, snack 2. So around here we're getting close to your workout. So for your workout, we really want to sandwich water. Okay, so you're going to have at least 16 ounces an hour to 2 hours prior to your workout. Okay, so we really want to sandwich water with your workout. And this depends on how much water you have, for the whole day. You might even want to increase this a little bit more than you normally would. So if you normally have 16 ounces, do 20, right? If you normally have 20, do 30, right? Then during your workout, this is when you're going to drink extra water. So you want to drink about 8 to 10 ounces every 15 minutes during your workout. Then after your workout, you'll have a quick 8 to 10 ounces again. And then depending on the intensity of your workout, the more that you sweat, you need to drink 16 to 24 ounces for every pound that you lost during your workout. So if it was a really intense workout and you sweat a lot, then you're going to need to rehydrate, right? It's going to depend on the type of workout that you did. If you did, cardio, if it was running, if it was hot outside, you sweat a lot, then you're going to need to rehydrate extra on top of this. Because remember, it's not about how much water should you drink per day. It's how much water does your body need to refill based on what you're putting it through, okay? And then dinner, 8 ounces. So this is kind of 2 different ways that you can kind of build the plan for yourself. You take the total number that you need for your entire day. Then you're going to basically, divide that up into the times that you'd need, throughout the day to drink enough water to hit the goal, with an emphasis on drinking water during your workout, before your workout, and after your workout. Okay, so I hope that helps. This is the secrets that I have for you for your hydration to really help improve the quality of your life, your body's performance, your mind, your cognitive focus and mental clarity, your muscle performance, your building muscle, anti-aging, and just really the lifeblood of your body is going to be hydration. So with that, hope you understand exactly how much water you need to drink and how to create a plan that works for you for your day. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. Would be happy to help any way I can.